Hi Navneet, so I've got your essay on international marketing here. Really well done for submitting it, and so that you can get some good feedback on what you've written. This is really the best way to improve your English, and with kind of personalised feedback, we often see quite a lot of improvement in writing. So this is really a good idea as a student preparing for the exam. So, multinational import and export is considered as imperative for soaring economy of a kingdom. Taking cognizance of this scenario, some have a school of thought that this not only aids a surging financial state of a realm, but also provides informative knowledge about the customs and traditions of foreign country, while few dispute this notion by asserting it as a dubious distinction shown by politicians to inhabitants. This essay shall elaborate both the perspective and then shall reach to an appropriate conclusion. Okay, so as we said, this question is on international marketing. One side being that this is an intrusion or invasion on a country, and the other side being that it helps for expanding culture, education, etc. Now, at the start of your essay, this worries me slightly that we've got multinational import and export, because technically we're not talking just about import and export, but we're talking about marketing and marketing strategies in different countries. So be very careful. I can see that further on you've spoken more about marketing, so it could just be that you've used a word that's not quite accurate here. So what I would state is starting with international marketing. Okay. Just to make it really clear to the examiner that you've taken the question on board and that you're not deviating from it too much. Okay, so I would suggest international marketing is considered as imperative for the... let's restart that sentence. So possibly nowadays, international marketing is often seen as important for the successful economy of a country instead of a kingdom. Okay, good. For the next sentence, I would suggest that we use the phrase "with this in mind." Okay. Others believe that this not only aids in improving the financial situation of a country, but also provides informative knowledge about the customs and traditions of foreign countries. Okay, I would use a full stop after that one. So while few dispute this notion by asserting it as a dubious distinction shown by politicians to inhabitants. While few dispute this notion by asserting it as a dubious distinction shown by... Okay. Okay, so I think here you're indicating that other people don't agree with this. Okay, so we could state that simply and say, on the other hand, others dispute this claim, and then I would use the words from the question, stating that international marketing is invasive, for example. Okay, just to make it clear, the best thing to do in these introductions is to essentially reformulate the question so that you're showing the examiner that you are aware of the question and that you are answering directly that question in this essay. This essay will elaborate both perspectives instead of prospective, perspectives, and then reach an appropriate conclusion. Okay. Good. All right. So to commence with, firstly, I would use instead. Firstly, indisputably, with globalization, dwellers of host province become aware of festivals of export states, as to remark the celebration. Most marketing agencies offer lucrative deals and ship goods at reduced prices. To commence, firstly, with globalization, dwellers of host province become aware of festivals of export state as to remark the celebration. Okay, now I'm not entirely clear on this sentence, but it seems to me that you are indicating that due to globalization, many countries become aware of sales deals that they would otherwise not become aware of. So, as to remark the celebration, most marketing agencies offer lucrative deals and ship goods at reduced prices. Become aware of festivals of export state. Okay, so are we stating here, and I think we are, is that people in foreign countries benefit from deals around public holidays, so for example Christmas, etc. Okay, so firstly, due to globalization, populations of different countries benefit from public holidays in other countries when most marketing agencies offer lucrative deals and ship goods at reduced prices. Okay, remembering that our focus here is on the marketing side of things, not on the shipping side of things. To support my statement with an example, Canada, which is one of the biggest importers, with an S, of Indian products, during Diwali, which is a carnival enjoyed largely all over India, folk clothes, food and big banners with discounts on them can be visualized when visiting stores like Walmart. Okay, now quite a long sentence here, so what we need to do is to reduce that one slightly. So to support my statement, okay, so to support my statement, comma, Canada, which is one of the biggest importers, with an S, of Indian products, has many offers during Diwali in its Walmart stores. Okay, so we don't need to mention too much about Diwali, because we'd assume that the examiner would know what that is really, and it's clear that you're talking about festivals here. Okay, so those are surplus, but the focus is on the deals that are available in Walmart, therefore marketing strategies. Okay, thus making citizens enlightened about Indian culture. Okay, so here, thus introducing Canadian citizens to Indian culture through marketing, I would suggest here. So really hammer home that we're talking about marketing here, linking back to the question all the time. Okay, so thus making Canadian citizens aware of Indian culture through marketing. Okay, good. So on the contrary, good, so we're bringing in the other side of the argument here. Some people have a perspective that it is hollowing the economy of native community by increasing unemployment and depreciation in purchase of local items. Now, careful here, because with our vocabulary, we started to lose the main idea. Okay, so on the contrary, instead of some people have a perspective that, I would say some believe that international marketing increases unemployment and depreciates local items. Okay, the classic example which mirrors this situation is in India, which is the largest international merchant of USA stock, is previewing perils of this grave condition on society in terms of mounting poverty, dwindling regional business to such an extent that many local traders have to halt their shops. Okay. Okay, so the classic, a classic example of this is India, which is the largest international merchant of American stock. Full stop. Due to international marketing, India is seeing mounting poverty, dwindling regional businesses, and the closing of shops. Okay. However, exporters are imposing higher taxes and still cutting deals by towering advertisements, alluring residents. Okay. Good. All right. Resultingly, greatly persuading fiscal status of the nation. Okay. Have to halt their shops. However, exporters are however, towering advertisements can still be seen, alluring residents or tempting residents. As such, instead of resultingly, as such, this continues to have an impact on India, for example. Okay, so within this paragraph and the one previous, there are some instances where you've chosen to use more complicated vocabulary, like previewing perils of this grave condition, which take away from the meaning. I would suggest that the best thing to do here is to write in more simple English until you've got the structure of the essay, and then to vary your language if you can. Okay. Otherwise, if we complicate our language too much, without having the points in place, we lose the reader a bit because it's not always clear where you're going. Okay, so I would suggest using slightly simpler vocabulary. So, for example, and obviously I don't know if this is the case, but if you've had to look up a lot of words in a thesaurus or a dictionary, for example, to write this, then the best thing to do is to write in words that you know that are simpler, and then to improve on the vocabulary once you've got the structure of the essay. Okay. Having analysed both aspects in the question, I would say here, having analysed both sides of the argument, it can be recapitulated. Although this trend of international marketing has positive impact on the attaining understanding of diversity of cultures across the globe, but impeding small town entrepreneurs to thrive. Okay. Again, another example of slightly losing the key point here through overly complicated vocabulary. Okay, so although international marketing has positive impacts on a country, the benefits, the disadvantages cannot go unnoticed, for example. This problem cannot be wished away, rather we should put our heads together to have a multi-pronged approach for tackling this crux. Okay, this problem cannot be wished away. So these problems cannot be avoided unless we find new approaches to international marketing, for example. Okay. Okay. So take on board that feedback about vocabulary. Okay, because sometimes, as we mentioned, some of the phrases are a little bit too complicated, so the vocabulary doesn't quite go together, and so we lose the key points of the question and of your argument in the essay. So I would suggest to take on board the changes we've made there, and to try and mirror this in future essays, particularly by taking phrases that you can use very often. So, for example, phrases like "firstly," you can use that in any essay, no matter what the question is. "Firstly" can come up somewhere. For example, as well, an important benefit, a significant disadvantage, etc. Okay, good work and good effort on submitting that one. Well done.